And the rays, the glory beam covered the entire surface of the earth, up to the ends of the earth, all the way to the horizons of the earth, meaning it really encompassed the whole earth. That is when the Lord again said unto me, the voice spoke from heaven and said, look, the Messiah is coming. And I remember so well that when I looked towards the left side of the sky, having heard the voice that said, look, the Messiah is coming. And when I looked left in the sky, in the direction facing east, the direction of east, the glory, the massive glory like the sun, flashed like lightning twice. Pia, pia. And I remember so well that all was finished right there. Everything ended right there. And then God the Father, He made me know that the church was not prepared, that the church was not ready, even as this happened. And then sadness gripped my heart. The melancholy of the sadness that gripped the Lord's heart, He passed it on to me. And it was too much for me to bear. And I began to weep bitterly and throwing myself on the ground severally, weeping all the time and throwing myself down as to why the church did not make it. That is the point at which the voice spoke from heaven saying, look, the Messiah is coming. The beaming of the massive glory of Jehovah that I saw happened in a flash, in the twinkling of an eye. After the glory flashed twice like lightning, pia pia, in the east direction, I vividly remember that the Lord made me know that the church out there was, as a matter of fact, not ready, even as the Messiah came. In that tremendous vision of Jehovah, the Lord indeed shook me when He lamented that the church, which was not prepared, had actually just missed the rapture. That is when the Lord made me know how sad He felt in His heart that the church was not ready in the advent of the Messiah. The Lord Jehovah at that time transferred His sadness into my heart, and I felt the melancholy of His heart to the extent that I could bear no more. In that vision of Jehovah, the Lord made me know right away that the reason the church was not ready is because she had not yet devoted herself to the holiness of the Lord, and neither had she embraced His unfailing righteousness. What clearly emerged out of this vision is the fact that I have heard the voice of the archangel himself audibly announce the coming of the Messiah. However, we should never lose sight of the fact that the Lord is saying that there will soon be a tremendous event that will constitute the greatest sign and wonder ever witnessed ever since the earth was created. This event will happen soon in the skies above the earth and will stun the entire earth in a manner never seen before. The rocks, the trees, the mountains, the rivers, the oceans, and the lakes therein. Needless to say, the Lord is grieved at the unprepared state of the church. In other words, the Lord Jehovah is saying that the Messiah is coming, and the church is not yet mature, not yet perfect. She is still not yet without spot. She is not yet without stain. She is not yet without wrinkle to enter his glorious, perfect, eternal kingdom. Upon waking up from this mighty vision of the Lord, I panicked and felt very sad for the church, because I have already seen the majority of them miss the rapture, crying that the church was not ready, throwing myself down and feeling the sadness and the pain and the melancholy, feeling the grief that the church was not ready, that the church did not make it. The Lord was essentially saying that this is how those who will miss the rapture will be at that moment. After the rapture of the church takes place, after the coming of the Messiah is accomplished, is realized, those that the Lord said the church was not ready, the majority I saw that remained, they will be throwing themselves on the floor, throwing themselves on the ground, rolling on the ground, gnashing teeth, weeping uncontrollably. Those who will fail to enter, they will throw themselves on the ground, they will roll on the ground, they will gnash their teeth, they will weep, they will throw themselves again repeatedly, severally. But the coming of the Messiah and the taking of the church will be totally irreversible, irretrievable. It will not be repeated. It will have gone like that. Those who have ears, listen to the voice of the Lord. Again, this is the voice that is crying out in the wilderness, prepare ye the way of the Lord, return to righteousness and holiness, repent of all sin, disconnect from the immoralities and the orgies of this world. May those who have ears listen to the voice of the Lord. The Messiah is coming, and this is he about whom the scriptures were written, saying, and I shall send you my messenger ahead of you to prepare your way. Shalom.